Okay, my video cut off because apparently I was over the limit on something. So I had to start a new video. So here we are. And this is doing it without that beautiful roadmap that we've been given, without that template to fill out. So we're going to try it on our own based on what we have done on the template. Okay. So the first thing we need to do is set it equal to 0. So I'm going to subtract my 20. And when I rewrite it, I have x squared minus 8x minus 20. Be sure you put that b value in the middle, the one with the x. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to label my a, my b, and my c value. So a is 1, b is -8, and c is -20. I do think it's really important to still kind of write that off, especially since we're doing so much right now. I just see it right in front of me. So of course now we're going to fill it in. And since we're filling it in, well, you know we need to see it. So 1, 2, 3. X equals the opposite of b plus or minus this, the square root of b squared minus 4ac, all divided by 2a. I just totally ruined my flow there, but that's okay because we're not going to redo it, but we're good. We can do this, okay? So here is my equation. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to do that math really quick where I do the first half. So -8 squared is going to give me a 36. And then I have negative times a negative is a positive. 4 times 20 is 80. Okay, so that gives me a, did I do that right? No, I didn't. -8 squared is 64. Dagnabbit. I don't know what I'm doing. I was like, that did not look right. Okay, sorry, 144. Always catch me if you see it. And then 2 times 1 is, of course, 2. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to write it again. And I'm going to say x equals 8 plus or minus the square root of 144 divided by 2. And that 144 actually equals a 12. So I'm just going to stop there. It's a whole number, which is nice. So then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to split them. So I have 8 plus 12 divided by 2 and 8 minus 12 divided by 2. I always do the plus on the left because it's what comes first in the formula. Now, as I recall, you always need to stop right here and take a second. And you need to do that 8 plus 12 first. It's really, really important, okay? Because if you don't, you just plug it in the calculator, the order of operations will be off. And then this is -4/2. So on this one, x equals 10, and on this one, x equals -2. So those are the two places where it crosses the x-axis. Now, these are whole numbers, which means we actually probably could have factored, but I love this one because you can do anything with it, okay? You can make it any type of formula, okay? So let's scroll down now. Let's do number 9. So the first thing I need to do is set it equal to 0. Okay, so I'm going to do -12. That -12 has the same last name as the 3, so it's going to line up there. So I have 2x squared plus 7x. And then 3 minus 12 is -9. Is that correct? So I'm going to label my A, my B, and my C. My A is 2, my B is 7, and my C is -9. So I'm going to come over here and plug it in. And oh, when I plug it in, you know, we're going to sing it. 1, 2, 3. X equals the opposite of B plus or minus the square root of B squared minus 4AC, all divided by 2A. I had to look over and read it on that one. So let me double check, make sure I plugged it in right. This looks good. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to do 7 squared, which is 49. And then I have -4 times 2 is -8 times -9 is positive 72. So that equals 121, I believe, and then that's going to equal 4. So now I'm going to come down here and I'm going to split them, right? And I'm going to write x equals -7 plus or minus the square root of, sorry, not split them, I'm going to rewrite it. I kind of take the time to rewrite it. It used to be that I make y'all do a bunch of steps, but it's really important to like make sure that we are seeing what we need to see. So I'm going to go down here and I'm going to do the first one. So I have -7 plus, and the square root of 121 is actually 11. -7 plus 11 divided by 4. And then I'm going to have -7 minus 11 divided by 4. So I have that plus over here and then the minus. So the right side and the left side of the axis of symmetry. So let's go over here and let's finish this. -7 plus 11 is 4 divided by 4. And negative 7 minus 11 is negative 18 divided by 4. So our two answers would be x equals 1, and this is not a whole number. This is actually a negative 4.5, or if you reduce the fraction, that would be a negative 9/2. So this would not have been able to be factored, if you can see that. Okay? It'd be a slide divide and bottoms up problem. Okay? And our last example, so this is a lot of notes, a lot of time going in here. This video is like over almost 30 minutes, so there's a lot going on. So the first thing I need to do is set it equal to 0. So I'm going to minus x, and I'm going to line that up underneath that 7 who has the same last name. And remember, this is actually a negative 1. Okay, that's a 1x. And then I need to subtract 10. So I'm going to do minus 10. So what am I left with? I have x squared. Then these two combined, 7 minus 1 is a 6x minus 10. Make sure you write them in the correct order, guys. Make sure you write them in the correct order. So this is my A, my B, and my C. And I'm going to come down here and write it. A equals 1, B equals 6, and C equals negative 10. That makes it a little bit easier for me when I go to like sing it and plug it in. So let's go. 1, 2, 3. X equals the opposite of B plus or minus the square root of, of B squared minus 4AC, all divided by 2A. Okay, and see, when you try and sing it faster, you just don't write it as pretty. You got to take the time. So 6 squared is a 36. Actually got that one right this time. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4 times negative 10 is a positive 40. So 36 plus 40 is a 76. And then this is going to equal 2. So I'm going to come down here and rewrite it. Okay, and I'm going to say x equals negative 6 plus or minus the square root of 76 divided by 2. Do not shortcut it, guys. Take the time to write it down. The square root of 76 is, let's see, because I have the wrong answer written down here on my page. I don't know what I did. So second square, whoops. So second square root of 76 equals 8.72. That one would round up. That one would round up. So that's an 8.72. So we've corrected that with that. So now I'm going to go split it, and right down here, I'm going to do negative 6 plus 8.72 divided by 2. And over here, I'm going to do negative 6 minus 8.72 divided by 2. Okay. And for our final answer, it is going to be, this would be 2.72 divided by 2. And this would be negative 14.72 divided by 2. So this one would become 1.36. And this one would become 7.36. And I'm going to check that because, oops, that's a negative. Oh, man, that is a negative 6 plus 8.72. Enter, divided by 2. I am so sorry, okay? So that's 1.36. That's your positive. I missed that negative in front of the 6 when I entered it. So see, I make mistakes just like you guys. Minus 8.72, enter, divided by 2 is a negative 7.36. So these you would never be able to factor. You wouldn't be able to find those answers. So that's it, guys. Thank you.